thumbs up. Here's what we're here to do. No, 188, I'm telling it was an accident. I think it was an accident. And if you guys want that music, that is a brand new song by my brother Kurt Dog. If y'all like that song, Kurt Dog is listening. Make sure and shout him out if you like that song. Maybe we'll do like some Slam It or Jam It, but Kurt Dog do nothing but bangers, so I'm sure everybody's going to jam that, right? So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are listening to the AFC for the first time, what we generally do here is we advocate for children first, meaning that no matter what's going on in the world, we generally are going to focus on the children's stories. I do get a lot of people's emails, and I like to thank the people because we have multiple people that sent me the story, so I can't just give one person credit. That would not be fair, okay? This is a beautiful, smiling baby right here, and what happened to her should not happen to any child, and this absolutely needs to stop, okay? Now, I've talked about this plenty of times, and we've gotten to the point in the AFC where we're like, you know what? We're going to start doing something about it. We're not going to just talk about it. We're going to be about it, including getting people arrested, charged, and convicted of their heinous crimes against children. Okay? Let me also give a shout out to all of the content creators out there that are now starting to realize how important this is. Don't just do it for views. Do it for these precious babies like this innocent soul that you see on my screen. She was 5 years old. Daviana Landry was 5 years old. And I would love to see more people not only talk about her, but talk about all of the children that are suffering at the hands of their caretakers, okay? Now, this story is out of Orange, Texas. So Texas takes another L. I don't know if I got that L the right way, but y'all will see it. Tell me if it's right. Texas takes another L today. My state needs a smack on the ass, okay? A young girl from Louisiana went to visit her godmother, and I'm going to repeat that. Her godmother, so this was not a stranger, for a week in Texas where she was allegedly beaten to death and strangled by her godmother. I am absolutely sure this has got to be horrifying for the parents or parent. Hashtag, where's the biological father? We don't know. We haven't heard from him. I don't know if there's a biological father involved in this story, but in the Black community, we understand that most fathers aren't in the kids' lives for whatever reason. Either A, they don't step up, or B, the mom don't let them be there. Whatever the freaking case is, it is all too common for the Black community for us to have children outside of the confines of wedlock, right? I think it's a great social structure in some facets because it actually encouraged us to have our children in a protected home with both parents in the home, okay? But that is not what we are in 2020. We are just randomly procreating with anybody and everybody. And what's sad is the fact that I'm going to get on to my sisters once again because my sisters have a lot of power. Can y'all give a shout out to all of my ladies in the chat, please? We have some awesome ladies here in the chat, like Laura Kennedy, thank you so much. Miss Nisi sent in a $25 super chat, okay? We have a lot of awesome ladies here. All of my ladies are awesome here. And we understand that we have a very unique power, right? Our ladies understand that we have a unique power, and that is the power to give life. But the only way that that can happen is if the men give their seeds. The man has a very important role and a very important job, and that is to give your seed to worthy soil. So we have to get on to the men at some point, right? We have to start holding ourselves accountable for our decisions and who we lay down with. And if we know that there is a collective of women that do not have the right mindset, then guess what we cannot do? We cannot just lay our seed in unrighteous soil. I like that. I'm going to say that again. As men, we, and I'm pointing at myself, we cannot lay our seed in unrighteous soil. Somebody can retype that in the chat because I promise you I'm not going to remember it after this because my memory is crap, okay? But nonetheless, let's talk about these individuals in this story. Let me get this broad's face up on the screen. This lady that you see on my screen, if you can call her a lady, she looks like a mannequin. She don't even look real. She just, with that dry ass look on her face, her name is Brenika Lott. Brenika. We take two different prefixes to names. I think that's prefix, yes, the beginning. Prefix, Brenika Lott who is 32 years old enough to understand not to do some bull crap like this. And she has been charged, and I want y'all to hear me, with capital murder. How many people understand what penalty comes with capital murder in the United States of America in most states? Because the state has a responsibility to implement the law in their own special ways. And sometimes they'll have special provisions like Texas have, which is called the super aggravated laws. If you're not familiar with Texas, we have a thing out here called super aggravated, meaning if a child is under a certain age, you can be charged with an even more harsh penalty. And I'm going to tell you, I am a big fan of that. Do you know why? Because the smallest of us, when you're talking about the most unprotected class in the United States of America, most ignorant black people will tell you it's black women. Let's think about that for a moment. Grown-ass woman has the ability to defend herself, has the ability to run, has the ability to drive a car, has the ability to fight back, has all of the laws going in their favor right now, has men willing to give their lives for these women, whether they're right or wrong, good or bad, whether it's built on truth or a lie, and they're the most unprotected class when they have laws made for their hair? Huh? Oh, y'all didn't know that they had laws for their goddamn hair? Y'all didn't know that? Thought I'd throw it out there. I'm just saying, I'm saying all of that to say this. Hear me out. Hear me out for a moment for y'all. Oh, Just Jay is on his tap dancing for the white man shit right now, right? No, I'm not. Let me tell you why I say that. No, they are not the most unprotected class. The most unprotected class is our babies. That is what our channel is built on. The children are the most unprotected in the United States of America. Thank you. That's the real truth. The babies matter more than grown-ass adults. All right? Now, that beautiful, innocent little girl that y'all saw on my screen with this beautiful smile, and I'm going to tell you guys, I always tell my daughter this, and shout out to my daughter, Crystal Channer. She's listening. I tell her this all the time. We just spent some time together over the weekend. I love my baby. And I remember when my baby was 5 years old. Well, guess what? The baby that you see on my screen is 5 years old, and her name is Daviana Landry. 5 years old. 5 years old. And according to Daviana's family, the Louisiana girl had gone to visit her godmother, which is a given title, godmother whom she would finally call Nana. According to the news, the child had gone to visit Brenika Lott on the day after Father's Day. I want y'all to keep that in mind. She went to visit the day after Father's Day, and she ended up dead 5 days later. And you guys would have to ask yourself this question. A, why would the parents let this girl go with her for that long a period of time, for a week supposedly? I just don't like that. I don't like that idea of you just sending your kid off, your 5-year-old innocent defenseless kid, with a chick who looks like a freaking melted mannequin. Does she not? Or am I lying? Am I making up stuff? Am I being an asshole? Maybe I'm doing all of that, right? But she looks like a mannequin that's been sitting in front of a hot lamp. Back this photo up. Look at this. She don't even look real. She looks heartless. Okay? How do you end up getting so fed up with a child in 5 freaking days is beyond me when you asked for this kid to come with you for 5 days. You requested that. This is not even your kid. Please, let's put this in the proper perspective. This is not her kid. How do you get fed up with somebody else's anyway? Wow. Let me calm down. Let me read the story. Now, a relative of baby Daviana, Alice Landry, said, she had my baby more than one time, and I would never, ever have suspected anything like this because she loved my baby. It sounds like, anyway, on June 26th, The Orange police authorities were called to Lott's home, where they found that woman, that creature, performing CPR on that baby. The probable cause affidavit revealed that the child had some bruising on her arms, her chest, and her face. Her eyes appeared swollen shut. Okay? I know this might be hard for some of y'all to hear. We're going to talk about some graphic details, but nothing is more difficult than what this baby had to go through. So if you guys can't handle just listening to the story, I get it. I totally understand if you can't handle just listening to what this child had to live through. Her eyes were swollen shut. And while speaking to police, Lott said that when she awoke the morning of Friday, June 26th at 11:05 a.m., which was not that long ago, she noticed that the 5-year-old girl was lying on the floor in the living room, on the living room floor, completely naked. I'm going to read that again. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble. Brenika Lott told the police that when she got up at 11:05 a.m., she noticed that the 5-year-old little girl was lying on the living room floor completely naked. Hashtag foul play, anybody? Do you guys not wonder what else might have happened to this 5-year-old girl if she was completely naked in this woman's house? Thank you. Somebody in the chat got it and said what I was thinking. I think that there was probably a hell of a lot more going on in this house, and probably a hell of a lot more reason why this individual wanted this child at her house. And what's so crazy about this is the fact that the parents or parent, whoever it was, gave this child to that woman on a silver platter. Ain't that a bitch? With all of the stuff that's going on in this world, when you're talking about all the children that have been abducted, and I want y'all to hear me. Did y'all see the video on my channel that went viral of the little girl that was almost stolen in the bathroom, in the toilet stall, while her mother was standing there? It is on my channel if you have not seen it. It's almost got 170,000 views. And she tried to take the child while it was daytime, while there was people in the bathroom, while she was recording, and the woman didn't give a damn. The reason why I bring that up is because of the fact that you need not to put it past a black woman, and a woman, on top of everything else, a woman that could have potentially have raped this little girl. That's the reason I bring it up. That's sickening to me. Brenika Lott said that she was immediately awakened, or that she immediately awakened her son and had him call 911, and she began performing CPR. When the cops asked about the injuries, Brenika Lott had allegedly claimed that they had been a result of mosquito bites. She had bruises and she blamed it on mosquito bites. How many times have I told you guys that it's sickening when these people abuse these children and then they blame the abuse and injuries on the children? It happens all the time. This is not a rare instance. She also allegedly said that one of the injuries on the back of Daviana's head had been due to a slip and slide accident. Blamed it on the kid. Lott's 11-year-old son said otherwise. Ooh-wee. Are y'all ready to hear this? Brenika Lott's 11-year-old son, her own child, her own flesh and blood. And I want to shout out this awesome 11-year-old boy who saw something and said something. Let me repeat. He saw something and said something. And this is why it's so crucial that if a child can do it, then why can't we do it? Y'all guys remember the story about Tunisia Mccloud? right? Y'all remember that story? If you don't, look it up on my channel. And there was a young man on there who actually spoke up on behalf of his baby sister. Okay? We have children who are crying out for justice. Why can't we as grown people cry out for justice? Why can't we see something and say something and report it to the proper authorities? Like we don't know the number to motherfucking 911, huh? People always be talking about, well, who should we call? Right? Like, who are we supposed to tell? Like, we don't know. Should we call Child Protective Services? Well, I don't have the number for Child Protective Services. Well, it's 2 phone numbers that all grown adults should know. Let's talk about it for a moment. 911, 411. Let me say it again. 911, 411. We are grown ass people in America in the technology age. Everybody has a smartphone. Anybody who tells you some stupid crap like that, like, I don't know who to call, you probably need to slap them in the face. Because it's a dumb thing to say when a child is being abused and you don't know who to call. Like you think you're supposed to call Ghostbusters or some crap. The 11-year-old boy had enough guts, had enough intestinal fortitude to tell on his mom. And guess what he said? He told the police that he saw his own mother slapping, choking, and beating up the little girl. I'm going to repeat that again, and let me get this baby's face on the screen. The 11-year-old son said he saw his mom slapping that little girl, choking that little girl, and beating up that little girl that you see on my screen. In that house that looked like it ain't never had an edge up. Unmaintenance yard. I just think that's a key indicator of, you know, somebody who doesn't take care of their house. They probably, I don't know. I just think it's I think it's a sign of a bad human being, a bad person. If you own a house that don't take care of the yard, I just think you're a bad person. Okay? It's my personal opinion. Now, the affidavit reveals that the preliminary autopsy results found that Daviana, that baby on the right-hand side of the screen, suffered from what they call cranial cerebral trauma. Ooh-wee, I got it right the first time. I'm going to say that word again. This baby suffered from cranial cerebral trauma. Do you guys know what that means? It's also a term called blunt force trauma. You guys want an even simpler term? She beat the absolute shit out of this baby. Punched her, kicked her, probably slammed her. To include skull fractures, a subdural hemorrhage, and a brainstem contusion. I'm going to read that again. Skull fractures, subdural hemorrhage, and brainstem contusions. That's how hard this woman who said that she loved this baby beat this baby. But these are the queens. These are the infallible ones. It also revealed that the child had died of blunt force trauma. Family and friends close to Daviana's mother, Sofia Landry, say that she is devastated and having a very difficult time. A family friend, let me skip the family friend portion. Now, Lott is currently being held on $1 million bond, and I think $1 million bond is about right. She ain't gonna be able to pay $1 million or even $100,000 to get her ass out of jail. So $1 million is fine with me. As reported by Beaumont Enterprise, Brenika Lott was jailed on a capital murder charge, and y'all know what they do with people on capital murder. They generally will execute them or they will get a life sentence. There's usually no getting out of that. Okay? Now, Captain Robert Inman it's a real hard name to pronounce, said that the authorities had also been testing many objects that could have been used in the killing. I'm going to skip some of this other part of the story. Let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage. If you guys would, please click that thumbs up. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, it'll help share the stream and let other people know that we're live, okay? So if you haven't clicked that thumbs up, please click it. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, let me see. Which one is it? I always get these confused. Sorry about that. There we go. Here we go.
Good evening, I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Katie Moore. A family in Thibodeau is planning a funeral for a 5-year-old little girl who police say was beaten to death by her grandmother during a visit to Texas.
Yeah, Devin Bartolotta spoke to the girl's family today. They are in shock. Someone they trusted, her godmother, is accused of killing her.
It had to take a lot for this to happen, where she had no control.
The Landry family in Thibodeau is asking why. Why a 5-year-old summer trip to visit a close family friend ended in murder.
It's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for everybody, the whole Thibodeau, the whole community.
Last week, police found Daviana Landry beaten to death in her godmother's home in Orange, Texas, less than 1 week into a visit. Disturbing details from court documents say the little girl had a fractured skull and bruises on her arms, chest, and face. 32-year-old Brenika Lott is locked up, charged with capital murder. Daviana's mom, Sofia Landry, says she and her family trusted Lott.
So Sofia Landry is the mother. And again, if you guys are listening, we need to have about 350 thumbs up. We have enough people here to do it. Please click the thumbs up so I don't have to pause the video to remind people to just click that thumbs up. And thank you to everybody that's already done it though, okay? But please click that thumbs up. Please share the memory of this baby and her story. It'll bring more people in to watch our story, okay? So Sofia Landry is the biological mother, and I want to hear her explanation as to why she left her baby with this beast for an entire week. Let's hear the story.
And consider her family.
She had my baby more than one time, and I would have never ever thought nothing like this, because she loved my baby loved it her.
Loved it? Is that that's not a New Orleans thing, is it? I know a lot of people from the NOLA. You know, shout out to my people out there. Loved it? That's not a New Orleans thing. And on top of that, it's so funny how the fact that you will let a quote unquote godmother watch this kid, but you probably wouldn't let the biological father watch this kid for 5 days. Damn. Hashtag where's the biological father? That's so sad that the fact that these women will let anybody watch these kids besides the biological father, huh? You'll let the boyfriend watch them. You'll let a dude that you dating watch them. You'll let a dude you just met from the club last night watch them. You'll let a neighbor watch them. You'll let a great auntie, third cousin, fourth, fifth, sixth cousin watch them. You'll let the kids watch themselves. Let me repeat that. These people, hashtag not all, it's not all, but in a lot of cases, these mothers, the bad mothers, will allow these children to watch themselves before even letting the biological fathers have a crack at raising their own children. That's a fact. That's an absolute indisputable fact until y'all decide to do better. Let's keep going. If y'all believe what I'm saying, click that thumbs up. If you don't, I understand.
Balloons still linger outside the Landry home where earlier this week, dozens of family and friends came together to remember her. Daviana's mother, too upset to talk on camera.
And how many times have I told these ignorant ass people to stop doing balloon releases? Look at this. I want y'all to look at this screen. I'm sorry for harping on this, but look at this. Who's gonna clean up all of these balloons? Seriously, black people, come on, man. it's white people do it too. Come on, man. Look, black people got to start being held accountable for our own actions and for us hurting us. We got to stop hurting us. And I'm going to tell you guys, I have a video that somebody emailed me of a little boy who's saying exactly what I've been saying for years now. And the little boy is saying, we got to stop harming us first. We got to start harming us. Because where those balloons are going to go is they're going to go onto power lines and cut people's power. They're going to be trashing people's yard. They're going to be trashing people's trees. And they're also going to harm the environment by killing animals. You don't contribute to the memory of a kid by killing animals. Like, what kind of stuff is that? Stop doing balloon releases, please. It's stupid. And everybody who released one of those balloons is stupid. Stupid, stupid. Let's move on.
Can't help but look through photos of the spunky would-be kindergartner. They're planning Daviana's funeral, reflecting on her short life, and her grandmother is asking for prayers for the woman accused of murder.
I don't know what got into it, you know.
Very cute.
All I could do is pray. That's it. All I could do is pray.
In Thibodaux, Devin Bartolotta, Eyewitness News.
And she is a beautiful little girl. Really sad. Let's keep going, man.
And we begin with breaking developments from Orange, where a judge has set $1 million bond for this woman. She's accused of killing a 5-year-old girl. Police have charged Brenika Lott with capital murder.
And I noticed that too. Somebody in the chat said the mama's not crying. That's why I love you guys in the chat. Y'all do such a great job. I can't read everybody's comment, but I did catch that. I did catch that. Somebody in the chat asked, why is the mom not crying? She doesn't seem distraught. I said distraught. Distraught. Not to me, but I agree with you.
Little Daviana Landry was found unresponsive in Lott's home Friday afternoon. An autopsy showed the girl died from blunt force. Pamela
also said that releasing those balloons can get in the way of helicopters and airplanes. So I want you guys to think about this. Think about this. If that's the case, then what if somebody did a balloon release while Kobe Bryant and his daughter and all of those other people were on that helicopter? What if that would have caused them issues? I'm just throwing it out there so people have something to think about, because what you do matters. Everything that we do matters. Let's keep going, though.
Trauma. And tonight, we are learning more about just what happened, thanks to a probable cause.
She can actually bail out. Yes, she can, but it's $1 million bail. If you get 10% of that, that's $100,000. And I seriously doubt if she has that kind of equity in that crappy ass home that she lived in. She probably ain't got but maybe $10,000 of equity in that little shitty home that she lives in. So she's not getting out of jail.
Affidavit.
12 News reporter Tyler Segerman is live in Orange tonight with some of the disturbing new details. And Tyler, we know this has been a tough one to follow. Tell us what you know so far.
Yeah, Dej, it was tough to read the details of this crime. The list of injuries to this little girl were extremely disturbing, and the probable cause affidavit that you mentioned, Jordan, painted a horrific picture of what went on at this house behind me. Here are some key points that we have learned.
So why did it take so long to arrest her? You guys got to understand that they can only arrest if they are able to bring enough evidence forth to be able to present charges, and then they have to get a warrant for the arrest. So that's why sometimes it does take a little while. Just like when we got Takesha Williams arrested, well, it took some time. She didn't get arrested right away, but it took some time. Let me give a shout out, Bree Bam. Thank you for joining the channel membership. Thank you, and shout out to you. Let's keep going. And if y'all click that blue join button down there, by the subscribe button, that'll allow you to be a channel member for everybody who does not know. And make sure y'all subscribe to this channel, okay? Let's keep going.
Medics got to the scene of the home, which is located on the 700 block of North 10th Street last Friday. What they found was heartbreaking. Little Daviana was completely naked and badly hurt. Investigators say it was clear she had been dead for some time. When asked about injuries to Daviana, Brenika Lott, who was reportedly taking care of the girl for a family friend, told police they were from dust mites. Lott reported that the child had also sustained a minor injury to the back of her head from playing on a slip and slide. Lott's 11-year-old son was interviewed by...
Somebody in the chat asked, why was the baby naked? That's a very vital question. Why was she naked? What are the scenarios that a baby would be naked in the living room floor? What scenarios? Y'all want to present some scenarios in the chat? I'm not going to speak them all, but I want y'all to take a guess, take an educated hypothesis guess in the chat why a 5-year-old girl would be naked in the middle of the floor in somebody's home that she does not know very well. Just think about it.
By Orange police. He told detectives that he witnessed his mother push Daviana, slap her, and choke her. He said Lott hit the little girl with multiple objects and even kicked her. Now, according to officials, when they arrived at the scene, Lott was doing CPR on the child. But again, investigators say evidence shows Daviana was already dead for some time. Lott is being held in the Orange County Jail on a charge of capital murder of a child under 10 years old. Her bond has been set at $1 million. Now,
Tonight, a quiet Orange County neighborhood is in shock. One of its neighbors sits in jail, accused of brutally beating, neglecting, and ultimately killing a 5.
I would like to know that. Somebody in the chat asked, does she have a boyfriend? I don't know that yet. I don't know. But let me say this. If anybody knows this woman, or if you are attached to this story, if you're watching the chat right now or watching our stream, you can contact us and you can call in tonight if you want to. If you're from this area or if you're family in this story, then we've done it before. You guys can call in and talk to us or email me at theafcmatters@gmail.com. So that way you'll know how to contact us. If you want to call in, we'll put a link in the chat so you can call in and tell us what you believe happened, okay? Partially Off Grid and Homesteading said, thank you, DJ, for all that you do. Speak for those who can't. Much love to the AFC. Thank you so much and salute to you. Thank you, thank you. Always appreciate your support. Always a pleasure to see you in the chat. Let me also shout out Pamela Trickett, who donated again, taking on the $10 challenge. Shout out to Pamela Trickett. Thank you guys so much. Let's keep going.
Year-old girl of a close family friend. Neighbors now leaving balloons and candles at the home where Daviana Landry died. Now, we've learned more about what happened inside of that house thanks to a probable cause affidavit obtained by 12 News.
And 12.
Somebody says she's married on her Facebook account. If she is a Facebook friend of mine, okay. Do you guys know who her husband is or know if he has a Facebook page? That's scary. Oh my God. I just had a thought pass through my head. If all of this abuse was going on, then where was her husband at this entire time? AFC, is this something we need to dig into a little bit deeper? Do we need to get somebody else arrested in this story? Huh? I'm just wondering. There's a good chance that this bitch probably had somebody living in that house with her that's an adult. Jay, I tried both Cash App and PayPal and they would not take my prepaid card. They don't work, Addie. I'm sorry about that. You know I love you and my mod fam. Shout out to Addie for donating in the super chat. Like I say, the super chat is cool. It's definitely cool. Like I say, you know, everything that you guys saying. Thank you, Addie. And Addie is so freaking awesome. Thank you, Addie, for that. So there's always a way. It makes me wonder where this man was if she lived with somebody. So if y'all know that she has a husband, if you can find out a name, Aisha Johnston. Let me see. Let's take a pause. I really feel like the son did it. You feel like the son did it. The son is 11 years old. I don't know if maybe either you can explain it in the chat or let me know if you want to call in. But let the people in the chat know why you believe that it might have been the son. Because I'm not gonna put it past being a potential scenario. Let me say that. Jesus Christ. Look, guys, I'm gonna be real honest. What's up, Almond Brown? I think Almond, I don't remember if you had donated or not, but I do remember seeing your name. Maybe it was from an email, but shout out to you though. Okay. I'm not gonna put that past an 11-year-old boy. I'm really not. I'm just be honest with you guys. But here's the thing that you also have to remember. Please remember this. In defense of the little boy, the 11-year-old boy said that the mom beat this baby up. Y'all remember that, right? The 11-year-old boy was the one who told on his own mom, which is hard for any child to do. Okay? Aisha knows her on Facebook. Let me know. Just tag my name if she wants to call in. What's up, Keyshawn Johnson? Shout out to Keyshawn. I see you. I saw what you said, Chase. I saw what you said. It just makes me wonder if y'all know more about this, or if you know the husband or boyfriend or whoever was living in that house. If you were able to capture it on the Facebook, let me know, okay? Let me know. Let's keep going.
News reporter Tyler Sagerman is live from that neighborhood in Orange where police say little Daviana was killed.
There you go. Miss June Bennett got it. Miss June is on it. So there's the link if you guys need to call in, and I'll be able to hop you guys in there. Y'all just tag one of the moderators or tag my name and let me know if y'all want to call in.
Tyler, what else do we know?
Yeah, Jordan, well, what we do know is 5-year-old Daviana Landry was dead for some time before first responders showed up to this house, according to that affidavit.
Who could take something so precious?
It's a question many people are asking. Alicia Turner, alongside her kids, visited the home where police say a 5-year-old girl was murdered 4 days ago.
When I first happened, my first question was like, how, what happened, who did it, why, what was the reason? Like, what is it that she could have done so bad?
Many of those questions were answered in a probable cause affidavit obtained by 12 News. It states first responders found Daviana naked inside the home with bruises all over her upper body, including swollen eyes. Investigators say she had been dead for a while. 32-year-old Brenika Lott, who is reportedly taking care of the...
They said that this little girl had been dead for a while. Oh my God. I need to know what was a while. Did y'all hear that? Let me back it up. Let me back it up. They said this little girl had been dead for a while. How long is a while? Are you kidding me? A while?
Naked inside the home with bruises all over her upper body, including swollen eyes. Investigators say she had been dead for a while. 32-year-old Brenika Lott, who is reportedly taking care of the child for a family friend, told police her injuries came from dust mites and a fall from a slip and slide. Police also interviewed Lott's 11-year-old son, who painted a different picture. According to the affidavit, he witnessed Lott beat, choke, slap, and kick Daviana multiple times with multiple objects.
And that's why I believe that the 11-year-old boy might be the innocent person in this story because of that right there. I don't think he was doing that to just save his skin. I really don't. Kinshasa Freeman sent in a $20 super chat. She took on the $10 challenge ×2, and she said, hello, Jay and the AFC family. Thank you for continuing to advocate for the children. You have my full support. Keep up the great work. Jay and the AFC Matters family. Thank you so much, Kinshasa. Good looking out. Thank you so much for your support.
Her son even showed police the objects she allegedly used while inside the home. Many neighbors told me, quote, it's shocking.
They not by themselves, you know, we are praying for them, and I just want them to know that.
On Tuesday, Turner, along with her kids, dropped off balloons and candles in the front yard. She says she didn't know the family, but being a parent, this news hurts.
She's a baby. She's still my heart. This is like a piece of me.
Little Daviana is from Thibodeau.
Let me ask you guys a question because Samantha just asked something. She said, how do you get dust mites? I'm going to tell y'all something. It's funny how creative they get when it comes to trying to give an explanation as to why a kid ended up dead at your house. And I have never in my life ever heard of a child in the past 40 years that has died from dust mites. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a child that's died of dust mites and got a fractured skull from dust mites and got a fractured, what was that thing that they called it? Let me go back here and look. What was it called? What did they call it? Cranial cerebral trauma. How many of you guys have ever heard of a dust mite causing cranial cerebral trauma, skull fractures, subdural hemorrhage, and brainstem contusions? Seriously. No, Brad said, DJ, looking at the mother's non-emotional response and the fact that the godmother had that many children times, that the child that many times before, wonder if she hasn't beaten her before and this time it went too far. Thank you for your $10 super chat. And I agree with you. I 100% agree. They get so creative with the excuses, but they can't get creative with the discipline. I want y'all to think about that. I've told you guys, people need to stop beating their children. Keep your hands, feet, and other objects off of these kids. If you have to spank a kid in 2020, beat a kid in 2020, or physically redirect a kid in 2020, then you are not a suitable parent. Stop beating your kids. If you cannot control them here, then you're not a suitable parent. You are not a suitable caretaker if you have to hit somebody to make them do what it is that you want them to do or guide them in the direction that you want them to go. Just saying.
We begin with breaking news tonight. A judge has set $1 million bond for a woman who's accused of killing a 5-year-old girl. Police have charged Brenika Lott with capital murder in the death of Daviana Landry. 12 News reporter Tyler Sagerman is in Orange tonight with some disturbing details. Tyler, this is information that's really difficult to hear.
Yeah, Jordan, we just received the affidavit, and after reading the details of this crime, they are extremely disturbing. Again, this all happened last Friday, June 26th, at this home behind me, which is located on the 700 block of North 10th Street in Orange. Here are some of the key points that we've learned. When paramedics got to the scene of the house, what they found was horrific. Daviana was completely nude and badly hurt. Investigators say it was clear she had been dead for some time. When asked about injuries to Daviana, Brenika Lott, who was reportedly taking care of the girl for a family friend, told police they were from dust mites. Lott reported that the child had also sustained a minor injury to the back of her head from playing on a slip and slide. Now, Lott's 11-year-old son was interviewed by Orange police. He told detectives that he witnessed his mother push Daviana, slap her, and choke her. He said Lott hit the little girl with multiple objects and even kicked her. Now, according to officials, when they arrived at the scene, Lott was doing CPR on the child. But again, investigators say evidence showed Daviana was already dead for some time.
That is the most disturbing part. How long? And I want to know, maybe I'll have to look up the court documents, but me personally, I want to know how long this little girl was dead inside that house. Because that means whoever was watching her knew that she was dead and didn't say anything and left her to just sit and rot dead inside of that house. Boy, oh my God, man. Man. Let me play the video because I'm gonna mess around and get flagged for what I'm gonna say. Why was she nude? Answer that question yourself. Why do y'all think a 5-year-old girl was nude inside this woman's house? Tell me what y'all think. Post it in the chat.
Burdens down, Lord.
New tonight, friends and strangers, side by side in Orange, gathering to remember Daviana Landry, a happy, spunky 5-year-old child who is gone way too soon. Police say Daviana was murdered last week by her godmother, a person that relatives trusted and even considered family. Folks met earlier this evening to light candles and release balloons in memory of Daviana. As you heard there, they sang and spoke about the tragedy. An absolutely emotional scene. Her family from Thibodaux, Louisiana could not be part of it tonight because of the distance and COVID. Daviana's grandmother spoke with our sister station.
I would have never ever thought nothing like this because she loved it, my baby loved it her.
It's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for everybody, through the whole Thibodaux, the whole community.
Now, as Daviana's family plans her funeral, Brenika Lott sits behind bars on a $1 million bond. She's charged with capital murder. Here's her photo. Daviana's grandmother is asking for prayers for Lott.
I never ever thought nothing like this because she loved it, my baby.
Now, while people are donating, I want to give a shout out. Angie, love that smile. Angie sent in a $10 super chat. Shout out to Angie in the chat if you're listening to the sound of my voice. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Let me also give a shout out to my awesome sister in the chat. That is Keyshawn Johnson, who also took on the $10 challenge for support of our channel, putting the babies first, man. Shout out to the ladies, man. Y'all are killing it tonight. Thank you for that. All right, let's keep going.
Baby loved it, huh?
Daviana's grandmother there and her mom, who was just too upset to talk on camera, say they trusted Brenika Lott and considered her family. Lott has been charged with capital murder in the death of Daviana Landry. She's sitting behind bars on a $1 million bond. Tonight, the community is coming together in Orange to remember the spunky would-be kindergartner. At 6:30, friends, family, and neighbors are going to meet for a candlelight vigil and a balloon release to honor 5-year-old Daviana.
I didn't see. Let me know if y'all see any tears in any of these videos. We're about to wrap up here in a moment.
A happy little girl with a radiant smile. You see it right there. That's how family members want to treasure 5-year-old Daviana Landry. Tonight, all they're left with are memories. Daviana was staying with a family friend, Brenika Lott, this past weekend in Orange.
Police believe that Lott brutally beat and killed the little girl. Our Jordan James is live tonight with how the community is remembering Daviana.
From Texas to Louisiana, the death of Daviana has shaken our community, leaving her loved ones left to wonder where to go from here.
We often measure life in moments.
I've been shaken up by this since Friday.
The impact of this moment has led to a memorial and raw emotions as family friend Latoya Kennedy thinks about the death of 5-year-old Daviana Landry.
I want y'all to look. Let me know when y'all see any tears.
Put yourself in the mother's shoes, and you can only imagine if you've never been through it. And the imagination side of it hurts like hell, so I could only imagine being in her shoes, dealing with it myself. It hurts.
According to a probable cause affidavit, Daviana was brutally beaten and neglected in a home in Orange last week. Police have since charged Brenika Lott with capital murder. Lott was responsible for babysitting the little girl.
I wouldn't understand what went through her mind to do something like this to a 5-year-old, but her little boy has my prayers as well. Like, it's a very sad situation.
Kennedy grew up with Lott and says this is a surprise. 12 News looked into Lott's criminal background, and it appears she doesn't have a record. Kennedy says having to bury a little girl who was left in the care of a loved one has changed her outlook on life.
This makes it hard to trust people. When you pick a godparent, you trust that person. And if you can't trust a godparent, who can you trust?
While this moment has caused a lot of pain, family members say they will make sure the memories of little Daviana never fade away.
A vigil will be held tomorrow in Orange at 6:30. It will be located on 10th Street and Orange Avenue, where you'll have the opportunity to come out and pay your respects. Reporting here in Beaumont, Jordan James, 12 News.
Well, this is 5-year-old Daviana Landry. Family is given 12 News pictures of the little girl who was killed in Orange last week.
Let me give a shout out to our new channel member, Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. Said, I'm new here. I love your channel, and thank you so much. We are the AFC. Remember, it's not a me thing. It's a we thing. Us together, we can impact lives today. And shout out to you guys who understand what our mission is. Our mission is to put the babies first, okay? If Stacy Hawkins is in the chat, let me know, Stacy, and shout yourself out. Let me also give a shout out to Tamika. Tamika C, if you're listening, I just got your... I'm glad I did not read your last name. I just figured it out. Sorry. If you are listening, say you have been great. You've helped me so much. Thank you so much. I just got your Cash App, and I sent you a little love back in return. So if you're listening, thank you so much. I just remembered your chat name, so that's on me. But I got you. Thank you. I did get your Cash App, though. Thank you so much.
She was staying with family friend Brenika Lott this past weekend.
Police believe that Lott brutally beat and eventually killed the little girl. 12 News reporter Jordan James is live in Orange with how the community and Daviana's friends are remembering her.
In the few pictures that Daviana's mother shared with us, she always had a smile on her face and full of joy. Total strangers have begun a memorial right behind me here in Orange at the house where Daviana was tragically killed. The same scene unfolded in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Dozens of family and friends gathered in Louisiana, where Daviana was from. They released balloons in her honor. As they struggle with wrapping their minds around what they call a senseless tragedy, the family is also trying to spread the word about fundraisers to collect enough money to lay the 5-year-old to rest. Brenika Lott, a family friend, is the one who police believe killed Daviana. 12 News looked into her criminal history, and it appears she doesn't have a record. Lott remains in jail with a bond set at $1 million.
New tonight, family members have given 12 News photos of the little girl who was killed last week in Orange. This is 5-year-old Daviana Landry, who's from Thibodaux, Louisiana. She was staying with a family friend, Brenika Lott, this past weekend. Police have charged Lott with capital murder in Daviana's death. According to a probable cause affidavit, Lott is accused of brutally beating, neglecting, and ultimately killing the little girl. When officers arrived at the scene in the 700 block of 10th Street Friday afternoon, Daviana was already dead. A judge has set Lott's bond at $1 million.
Guys, let's close this out. I'm going to give y'all my closing thoughts. So let me take off my headphones so I could just talk to you guys. First and foremost, let's talk about this because it's something I've talked about plenty of times before. You guys know how I feel about GoFundMe, and I think that my presence is starting to be felt around the internet, which I think is a good thing because I want people to think about what they're doing, okay? So let me go ahead and restart recording right here. I think a lot of people are starting to watch my videos, which is a good thing. And I've spoke on GoFundMe before, and people got a little bit confused when I told people that we were trying to donate to a GoFundMe of a little girl who actually got straight A's in school, and she wanted to take a trip with her classmates here next year to go to Washington, D.C. And I said, that's actually the type of thing that GoFundMe was created for, in order to go fund things like that, right? GoFundMe was never meant to be a supplement for life insurance or lack thereof, okay? It was never meant to supplement for life insurance because yo ass decided to be an irresponsible parent and have this beautiful innocent soul with no plan for her life and eventual death at all. For any parent who does not have life insurance, it don't cost that much. And if you don't have life insurance for your kid, I'm encouraging you guys to get it and do so, okay? There's no reason. It's too cheap. And one thing that you know, and you can't tell me, well, I didn't know I was going to need it. Well, you're going to need it and everybody's going to need it because as sure as you are born, you will die. You are born, you're going to die. You need life insurance, period. All human beings do, okay? Now, another thing that I want to talk about here is the fact that they put up their Cash App. I get it, totally get it. But like I said, I think it is up to the mother, the biological mother of this kid, to have had life insurance. And let me throw this out there. If you guys do not mind, let me say this. Don't get mad. But if you're going to have children, if you cannot afford to pay for life insurance, then you can't afford a kid. Heller. If you cannot afford life insurance, then you cannot afford to be a parent. You should not be having children. I think that's a simple concept, and it should be a concept that we use going forward. Okay, so that way we have a clear line of demarcation. If you know that you cannot provide a roof over your head, if you can't keep gas in your fucking car, if you can't keep insurance paid on your vehicle, if you cannot keep your cell phone bill paid, if you cannot pay your electric bill by yourself, then guess what you probably cannot afford to have? Heller. I think it's a simple concept. I'm glad that the AFC gets it. I'm glad that the people in the chat get it. But the sad part is you're going to continue to have people that keep threatening my life, keep talking about they're going to pull up on me out here in Texas. You continue to have people threaten my life for my words about these stories, and I'm giving you guys solutions. A, have life insurance. B, stop having your kids around motherfucking strangers. Talking about this woman she's like a family friend. Well, you know what, ma'am? You fucked up. Okay, mom? You fucked up. All right? It's funny how you would trust a family friend, but you won't even trust the man that provided you the seed for you to even have this kid and for you to collect the benefits that you are going to collect from this kid. Hashtag babies for benefits. Babies for benefits. Hashtag babies for benefits is an AFC hashtag. And what that means is that it seems like the majority of these parents only have these children for the benefits that they can collect from these kids, like Section 8, like housing, like food stamps, like car vouchers, like child support. That these women would not get any of those free benefits so they could sit on their fat fucking asses and not work jobs. Huh? Those are your Democratic policies. They pay you to sit at home and be lazy and continue to destroy the black community. Did you guys also know that the Black Lives Matter movement, you guys know I've been talking about crap about Black Lives Matter for a while, and it's funny how Black Lives Matter didn't show up here. And you also wonder why it is that Black Lives Matter is never there when you need them in crucial situations. Well, first and foremost, it's not black run. Second of all, they're trying to actually get rid of the patriarchy. Trying to get rid of the fathers and destroy the very fabric and thread of the black community, which got us to a point to where we were actually outnumbering the white community when it came to in wedlock births. There was a point in time back in the 50s and 60s when black people had more children inside of wedlock than any other community in the United States of America. When we were actually caring about each other. When we didn't kill each other as indiscriminately as we do now. Right? We were doing so much better in the 40s, 50s, and 60s when the white man supposedly wasn't giving us no opportunities to be shit in this United States of America. But it's funny how we were actually doing better back then. We were more of a community back then, and we cared and loved more about each other back then. Heller. I just find it ironic that you're pro-blacks. Let's get on to the pro-blacks now. Talk about the fact that we need to know our history. And they want to take you back 400 years in history, talking about slavery and talking about when y'all used to be kings and queens. But what's funny about the pro-blacks is they won't even teach you about when you were great in America. When we're talking about making America great again, there was a point in time when America was great. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, when we supported our own, protected our own, raised our own, and did better circulating the black dollar in the black community, while y'all are going around with those black power fists and those black power fists and black power t-shirts and Black Lives Matter and white people talking about Black Lives Matter and all of this bull crap. Well, guess what? Black lives is only going to matter when they start mattering to black people. And if you don't care about what happens to black babies and black people, then guess what? You are just full of hot fucking air, and it's not going to mean anything. And you're going to continue to keep begging these same white people that you say have their proverbial foot on your neck for GoFundMe money to fund your nigger GoFundMes. But what I'm saying makes me a coon. What I'm saying makes me an asshole. What I'm saying makes me deserve the grave, apparently, because niggas keep thinking that they need to kill me and shut me up because they don't want to change nothing. Why would you not want to change the fact that this woman should never have had an opportunity to have this kid at her house for 5 goddamn days? She's not even blood related. She's a friend. She's a friend. And you gave your baby away to a friend. Why? Not for a couple of hours. Not for 24 hours for a sleepover. 5 days. And I think that she planned to have her there for a week. And you have no idea what this woman or what her husband or boyfriend or what they... Look, I'm going to tell y'all something that's probably... I hope this don't get me flagged. I swear I hope it don't. How do y'all know that this woman didn't have some type of sick, sadistic-ass molesting party at her house on this 5-year-old baby? And y'all talking about y'all care about the babies? How do you know? You don't know. You just put your kid in a jacked up situation where this baby was 5 years old, could not speak for herself, nor could she defend herself against the tyranny of her caretaker. So you could go do what, mother? So you can go do what, ma'am? Sofia or Sofia or whatever your damn name is. What was the point and purpose? Please tell me what you did while your child was sitting there bleeding and dying and getting head fractures and subdermal hematomas and all of this other crap that happened to her, and laying naked in front of somebody else's house, and you had no idea. What were you doing during those 5 days when your baby was begging for her life and her own mother abandoned her and literally was said, "Why hast thou forsaken me, my own mother?" Not one tear, not one cry for her baby. And to me, if you ask me, that baby had no advocates in her life at all. But what those people are going to do, what grandma's going to do, what mom is going to do, and what those, I'm going to try to mind my words, these terrible people that were around her, what they're going to do now is they're going to try to collect funds so they could, not to bury the baby, not to bury the baby. That's the easy part. They're going to try to collect funds to fund themselves. Hashtag babies for benefits. And I'm calling y'all out because that's what y'all do. There's no reason for these people to be opening up $50,000, $100,000 GoFundMe accounts and all this stupid stuff talking about GoFundMe when a lot of states actually in these type of crimes agree in the states to bury the children. They have funds available to bury these children so you don't have to incur any out-of-pocket expenses at a lot of places. I'm not saying that that's what happened here, but what I am saying is that the mother is irresponsible and that this woman, this so-called friend that she left her around, was hella nasty, irresponsible, abusive, and if you ask me, she doesn't need to be on this earth anymore. She doesn't need to breathe our atmosphere anymore, waste our time. I don't want to see her face. I want to see her in space. How about that? Can we send her, let's see. I'd like to see if she'd like to make it to Jupiter. How about that? See if a human can survive on Jupiter. Launch her ass onto what do they call that? An experimental shuttle. Launch that woman to Jupiter and let's see if she survives the trip. I'd just like to see it happen. If you can put her into the Jupiter atmosphere and she can make her way back to Earth and America and the United States, then maybe she can live. That's the only way that I believe that she needs to be allowed to live. But what she did to this precious innocent soul, Daviana Landry, who cannot speak for herself, nor could she defend herself. And I don't even want to think about why this baby was laying naked in the middle of the floor and was dead for days. The abuse of these children has to stop. I'm going to continue to call out bad parents. I'm going to continue to call out bad caretakers. And if you know what, if you don't like it, then you know what you can do. You can take this story and stick it where the sun don't shine. I'm DJ Just J. We are the AFC, and this is not a me thing. This is a we thing. We can get better as a people, and our voices will be heard. Thank you so much, and R.I.P. young, beautiful sister, Daviana Landry. And guess what she would have grown up to be if she would have been allowed to grow up? She would have been a black woman. Y'all talk about defending black women.